Hello, this is Jock and coach at the San Francisco Cinderace, and this is going to be my final battle of the regular season. We're going to be up against the Seattle Snorlax. It should be a good battle. There's a couple things he's got, like the Dracozolt and Conkeldurr that are threatening. He did bring the Escavalier like I was expecting. I'm going to be leading my Orbeetle, just as I had planned. But yeah, let's get right into it. So up first, Orbeetle and Jellicent. This is a pretty good matchup for me, assuming he's not carrying Shadow Ball. And it looks like he isn't because he switches out. Now here, I just have to go straight Mudsdale. I can't risk Orbeetle going down even though he is Suicide Lead. I'd like him to be healthy if possible. So here, I wanted to Body Press. I figured... I'm sorry. I'm misremembering this. I should explain that I wasn't able to commentate over this one because of the time it happened last night. So I'm doing this the morning after, and I don't remember it super clearly, but we'll try and go through here. So the reason I switch into Gardevoir, I have Trace, I copy the Water Absorb, and based on him switching out versus the Orbeetle, it doesn't look like he's carrying Shadow Ball. Jellicent is one of my best ways to set up a Calm Mind, so I want to try and get a Calm Mind off here and see if he is carrying Shadow Ball or not. And it doesn't look like it. I get my Calm Mind off, but he sends an Escavalier. So with Escavalier coming in, I can't one-shot it even with the Calm Mind, so I just have to switch out, unfortunately. Now with that said, he's not able to do much of anything to this Mudsdale, and I'm going to get my first Stamina boost off. Here, I'm going to have to swap back out, though, if I remember correctly. No, we go for a Body Press. Body Press is okay there. Jellicent is a pretty safe switch for him, but I'm going to go back into my Umbreon. And he is carrying Dazzling Gleam, but that's not going to do much of anything, especially with my Leftovers recovery. Now here, he basically gives me a free Foul Play, so I want to see what I can do with Foul Play. I did consider Toxicking, and being able to Toxic Conkeldurr would have been very nice over the burn, just because it would have chipped him down a little quicker, but the fact that Escavalier was here, I thought it could have been coming in, because Bug is super effective into Dark, so I was a little worried about that, and I just wanted to Foul Play. So we get some nice damage off on the Conkeldurr, but now we have to switch out again. So I want to Protect, just to see what I can see he's going to do. And he goes for a Drain Punch. So I have a couple options. I could go Orbeetle, Gardevoir, or Mudsdale. I end up going Gardevoir because I think that's going to be the safest. And he ends up going for another Drain Punch, and we take 30%. That's actually pretty decent considering Gardevoir's defensive stats. And this is going to let me Mist of Fire because I felt the Escavalier was likely to come back in here. And sure enough it does, so we're able to get the 2-shot off that I needed. Looking at the damage, it might not have been Assault Vest, but I didn't want to risk it earlier on the Calm Mind. So Mystical Fire again. Here's the interesting thing about this, that the Dracozolt has been slowed by the Sticky Webs. There's literally no way it can outspeed me now. So I can just click Moonblast, and something has to take the damage. Even Escavalier and at the health it's at, and Wheezing, even though it's resisted, don't want to take a Moonblast, especially because they'll just die on the next move. So he has to let something take a Moonblast that doesn't want to take a Moonblast, and that ends up being Dracozolt. So this is extremely nice for me, because Dracozolt was one of the big things that threatens a lot of my team. So getting it out of the way is very helpful. Hold on here. Okay. Jellicent comes back in, but we have seen that it's not able to do much to me with Shadow Ball, so I'm going to Calm Mind here. He ends up carrying Sludge Bomb, and he gets a critical hit. I don't think, if that wasn't a critical hit, I don't think that Gardevoir would have died there, and then I would have been able to kill everything that's not named Snorlax. So it is a little unfortunate that it happened, but I just got to play around it. So we go into Umbreon. He doesn't want to let this Jellicent get hurt because he needs to stop my Dracovish. So the basic idea is that every time he goes Jellicent, I'm able to get a free Foul Play, because he's not willing to risk Jellicent taking any damage. So I end up getting a critical hit on Conkeldurr, and after the burn damage, I know the Foul Play is going to do enough. So I figured he would Mach Punch and it would do a lot of damage, but it wouldn't kill me. But it looks like he goes for the Drain Punch there because he didn't go first, which isn't, I don't know. I don't think that was the right call by him. I think Mach Punch should have been what he was going for, because it would have put me fairly low, right about 20% if I'm remembering correctly. So I think Mach Punch was the play. I think he got a little bit greedy and went for a Drain Punch. But Escavalier comes back in here. I end up going Mudsdale just to see if he's going to use a bug move like X-Scissor, and he goes for a Mega Horn. Now here we get the Stamina boost, so we're guaranteed to live the next move. and I'm gonna rest. Even though the Dracozolt is gone, I can still get a good amount of use out of this Mudsdale, thanks to the fact that I can wall the Snorlax with it. And since the Jellicent's back, now we just go back into Umbreon and we get to foul play something again. So it depends on what he wants to bring in here. And he ends up going Escavalier, we're going to foul play. And you can see that foul play is going to do a very nice amount to this Escavalier. So Umbreon's picked up 2 kills, Gardevoir's picked up 1 at this point. It all depends on what he wants to send in here, and he's going to go Snorlax. So in this situation, I just go Mudsdale because I healed him up specifically to deal with this Snorlax. You can see that a Dynamax Snorlax, once it uses its max Quake, that's going to do very little, which is ideal because now I have a stamina boost, and the next move he uses is going to do even less. So he goes for Gmax Replenish, you can see that does 20%, and now my defense goes up again. So I'm getting more damage on a body press, and he's doing less damage every turn. Mudsdale, this is why I wanted to heal it up. Unless he goes into something like Jellicent or Weezing, I'm fine here. So I probably should have Earthquaked on this turn, but I body pressed on the off chance that he stayed in, which he doesn't. I think that was the right call on his end, but I just wanted to cover it in case. I should have Earthquaked there. I should have Earthquaked for sure. Jellicent is back, which means I get to do another foul play. And we're going to burn the Jellicent, which does suck because I was debating on Toxic. But it's not the end of the world. It doesn't look like he is the leftovers. So we get a foul play, and it's not actually doing much to this Snorlax. I think if I'm remembering correctly, it's going to do about 12%. Like, it's doing, yeah, it's not doing much of anything to this Snorlax. So we want to sit here and we want to let the Wish go off. But then we probably want to switch out just because Umbreon's not doing much, and it is taking a decent amount from Body Slams. I figured because the Snorlax I usually run when I have to use a set like this would be Gluttony with a berry. I figured that's likely what he was going to be, so I wanted a Toxic and Wish Stall, but it looks like he's running Immunity, which I thought was interesting. So we're going to have to get out of here into something else eventually. I wanted to have a Wish up just in case, and I also need to make sure my Umbreon is healthy enough to switch in to the Jellicent. So we're going to try and stay in until we get this Wish, or I think 2 wishes off here. We take 1 wish, and then we're going to Wish Protect, I believe is what we do. That way Umbreon is healthy enough to come back in again if need be. Yeah, there's the other Wish. He's going to Body Slam, and I believe I Protect here. It's either that or I switch into Mudsdale. Yeah, I Protect. Like I said, I want this Umbreon to be able to come back in safely on anything. So we want to heal it back up here. Now at this point, this is where I switch out, and I've noticed something. With everything going on, Snorlax at 20, Weezing's still at full, Jellicent's almost at full. The moveset I have on Orbeetle is Psychic, Bug Buzz, Shadow Ball. Psychic should finish off the Snorlax, Psychic one-shots the Weezing, and I think Shadow Ball 2-shots the Jellicent. And seeing the moveset that Jellicent has, I don't think it's carrying Shadow Ball. It didn't want to fight the Orbeetle at the beginning of the game, it used Sludge Bomb against the Gardevoir rather than Shadow Ball, so I'm like 90% sure it doesn't carry a Shadow Ball of its own, which means Orbeetle can just clean up the game. So I bring in Orbeetle here. I actually see it's a Grassy Seed Snorlax, which I think is an interesting call on his end. Like, I still think I would have liked to see a Berry Snorlax better, but I can see the idea if he wanted it to fight Rillaboom. So here comes the Weezing. If we Psychic, it kills the Weezing, so we went for a Psychic there, and the Jellicent is even going to take a good amount because it ends up getting crit. And we're going to Shadow Ball, because at this HP, I felt pretty confident it would kill. The Jellicent ends up living with 3% and then gets the special defense drop, and it doesn't carry Shadow Ball. It's Strength Sap, Scald, Sludge Bomb, Dazzling Gleam. So it does get a Strength Sap off, but a Shadow Ball would have killed. I had a sneaking suspicion he was going to try this and go into Snorlax, so I Psychic, and 1 more Psychic will kill the Snorlax. Now I can just keep clicking Psychic because I should do enough to kill even the Jellicent. Weezing comes in, 1 Psychic should kill the Weezing, but he ends up going into Jellicent, and a Psychic is going to do enough to pick up the kill there, and now Weezing is forced back in once again. Once it comes in here, another Psychic finishes things off. So yeah, a pretty clean battle on my end. My walls did a lot of work, Umbreon especially. And surprisingly, Orbeetle never lost its Focus Sash. I didn't end up using Dracovish or Rillaboom at all, and I think I could have swept more with Gardevoir if I didn't get unlucky and get crit there, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But yeah, with that, we made it into playoffs as the first seed. We'll be playing the Divas Miss Drevis in the quarterfinals in the week coming up. That should be a good match, so be sure to wish me luck and be sure to stick around for the rest of the playoffs matches. Thank you for watching.